What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a DADCAW. It is 9:13 p.m. Monday, August 24th, 2020, and we're talking about games, I guess. I've been playing some games lately. Probably noticed that if you paid attention to the channel. Played some games called Assassin's Creed 3. Oh, that's not a game. Fuck. Batman Arkham Knight. That's kind of a game, I think. Haven't played enough to really figure it out. But I will continue playing that one, at least, for now. Probably won't abandon it. It's one of those things that I think if it survives past one video, it's probably going to get finished, just on principle. I'm an all-or-nothing kind of guy, you know? And my version of nothing is apparently suffering for 2 hours while I try to play a fucking game. That just let me play playlist. Let me tell you, boys. You see a game in there, you better steer fuck. You better fuck the far away from that game. That game will burn every plant in Gotham. I can't believe that's a real fucking thing. Ah, Batman. By the way, if you hear me say random lines that seem really out of context and might even have the word Gotham in them or be about burning plants, I haven't lost my mind, or maybe I have, but I'm just quoting Batman from Batman Arkham Knight because he has some insane dialogue. So things have been moving right along in the last week or so. Since the recording of the previous DADCAW, I do feel like I have gotten a little bit better at handling input and output and also maintenance, which is a bit more of an afterthought in that particular video, but I did mention it. I've been doing a bit more outputty things, or a bit more inputty things, actually. I actually view doing these Let's Plays, even though I'm creating something, it's still requiring input just to do the output, whereas something like a mod stream or something like even the StarCraft videos were kind of like, there was still a percentage there where some of it was input because I was playing, but I think it was more analysis and it was more in the moment. The whole dynamic behind the commentary was very different, I think. And I was in a position where I could instill knowledge and explain things. And it was definitely more in my comfort zone, I guess. So even that was more in the output side. But still a little bit of input because I'm playing something, right? So it's not quite as serious as taking 4 hours and working on Hydra or whatever, where I'm very rarely playing, even if I'm doing some testing or whatever. It's actually for the purpose of unit testing. It's not for the purpose of doing anything leisurely, right? So can't even leisurely play that game against the AI unless something horrible has happened to the AI themselves, because they will kick your fucking ass. So you got to be prepared in that sense, even if you're testing, which is fine. It's exactly what I want. It's just I don't always want to be doing output, as I talked about in that last video. So when I'm doing these Let's Plays of things like Assassin's Creed 3 or Batman, that stuff is a little bit easier for me to call like 50-50 split or something, because my analysis is, I guess it's a bit more observational at first, and then maybe there's pockets of time, like I did this in one of the menu screens of Batman. I just sat there and talked for a little bit, and that's a bit more dedicated output, but it's like in review, or here's some things that I've observed from other games that apply to this game, and you know, it's a bit more cordoned off for actual commentary and analysis, right? So otherwise it's a bit more observational, it's a bit more reactionary, and a bit less retrospective, whereas the Brood War LP was almost all retrospective. And I have not forgotten, actually, about the Brood War LP part. I still have to do that manual review as well as comment review. So that will be coming at some point. Just haven't gotten around to it. I think I actually did forget at some point, but when I released those LP videos, I was like, oh wait, I was supposed to finish something related to the StarCraft LP. So I have remembered now, and I've also talked about it here, so whatever. Got to do it at some point. But aside from that, I still have to do some more campaign playthroughs. I was actually supposed to play my own campaign in Consummate after Critter Campaign, but Critter Campaign was so miserable I didn't finish it, even though it was only fucking 5 maps or something. So I will undoubtedly be running in Consummate at some point, probably after Batman, maybe even alongside Batman. I don't fucking know. Stay tuned. What else? Been doing CSGO map analysis videos on the other channel. Check those out. And I guess I should add a rule for that fucking Coffet bot on the Discord server to actually post videos from the side channel as well, the semi-pro channel. That should be done at some point, but I don't know if I'll do it. I probably won't even remember recording this video at all tomorrow, so get destroyed, I guess. That being said, there's still some more stuff in the works. Obviously, we have been working on Brood War stuff alongside all this video content. I've mostly been working on trying to finalize details for this mega patch that's about to hit Hydra. It's going to rework the Protoss tech tree. It's going to add a couple of new units. Savant and the lobotomy mine seem to be more or less fully implemented, which is very nice. Just got to fix some minor things associated with them that aren't even critical. They're just like aesthetic or whatever. So nothing crazy there. That being said, like I said earlier, there's still a chance, anyway, that there's going to be some lasting issues. We were able to successfully complete a player versus AI game that lasted about 15 minutes, or maybe even longer, on the last fraud night. So maybe the desyncs are taken care of. I don't think so, but maybe. I mean, it's not like we removed anything, really. So I don't know. Seems a little odd. Maybe we'll be able to link it to some units or something. But that being said, we've definitely managed to change up the game sufficiently that I feel like we might not even need to do that much tech tree editing in Deliverance, for example, which is something that was a bit of a point of contention. We will be doing some. We already did do some. But I actually think it'll be far less than before. I mean, for one, we can't even guarantee yet that we will be able to use AI... Well, that the AI will be able to use advanced workers. We conceptualized advanced workers as flying workers, which would allow you to unlock the potential for things like mineral fields that are placed on cliffs or stuff like that. That would generally, obviously, change a lot. But also there would be stuff like that they'd build faster and repair faster for Terrans, or they would... they'd have some other traits in addition, like the Protoss one was going to have like a small power field around it wherever it went, which is obviously a pretty big change. I suppose the Zerg one's thing about base building was actually that it lost a percentage of its health every time that it built a structure. So it'd probably be like losing 30 health or something, and say it has 90 or 120 or whatever. So you can build about 4 structures or something like that. I almost said 3. That's a bad word to say, bad number. But yeah, so you can build like more than one structure per worker for Zerg. Stuff like that. I think there's ways that you can play around with something that's built into the idea behind the race itself and how it constructs buildings, and also how it mines resources or whatever. Economically speaking, you can work within that framework, and I think that's cool. So... yeah, pretty neat. Something that I definitely want to play around with. But if we can't have the AI use them, then it's not really that worthwhile including in Deliverance. We'll just wait for the new engine or something like that. That would also resolve me of the requirement to deal with the fact that I would then have to find a bunch of entries for them and get the graphics set up and all that other stuff. So it would reduce the overhead a little bit, but I'm not really one to shy away from that. So if we can make them work, we'll make them work. I think the advanced worker idea is cool, though. It's like another way to express your tech tree or your tech tier. And that's been a big focus lately. I actually have not recorded any material on the massive change of tech trees that has gone over. I think I always intended to make a DADCAW on that, but I never did. And this one's already almost 9 minutes in, so I'm not fucking doing that here. Not launching into that giant tirade here, but there will be a giant tirade at some point. I think once we stabilize the AI, which I worked on a little bit today, I should be able to do some more castovers as well, which will be good. Explain some of the latest additions, hopefully by showing them where the AI actually is using them. But yeah, time will tell. So progress has been good on that front. Obviously, progress has been cool on the video front. We'll finalize the SELP stuff. We will truck on with Batman. And then I'll probably play some retro FPS games and some more custom campaigns. Alexander, now called the Knight of the Realm, suggested that I play Ion Fury and something else I don't remember, but Ion Fury I at least am aware of. So I will definitely be taking a look at some point. But it'll be strange waters, that's for sure. And maybe I'll even do another run with Dynamo, since he's been my compatriot for the classic FPS. And that's not really a classic FPS as much as it is like another game, you know what I mean? So, but after I am done recording Batman and recording some custom campaigns, I actually think that in addition to, I guess Ion Fury would be a live stream because it's a game I've never played before. So it's more likely to be something where, you can justify the live stream aspect of it. It's a live engagement, trying to figure out what the fuck's going on in these games and all that. I actually think that the next thing, maybe instead of, or in addition to, or after the Ion Fury stuff, would actually be to run Age of Empires finally. So guess we'll have to wait and see on that front. Man, I've been putting that off for a while indirectly, like unintentionally. I've always found legitimate reasons to do something else, but I mean, Dynamo bought me the fucking game last year, I think, or this year or something, so I don't have much of a fucking excuse anymore. I think it's about time. So, maybe that'll be happening next week, or next month, rather. I don't know. Depends on how fast I get through everything else that's on my plate video-wise, and, of course, how frequently I'm busy doing other things. So, thanks for hanging out during this very strange time. This whole year has been a fucking weird shit show. And hopefully everything works out for everybody. I know how that's super nebulous to the point where it's not even that fucking endearing because it's just word salad. But yeah, I genuinely hope that. So see you on the next fucking DADCAW. I'm parched. It's so hot here. I really have to turn my AC back up, which means no recording. And I really got to get some water, which means no fucking talking. Because if you try to talk while you drink, you just end up burning every plant in Gotham. Why does he say that, man? Why?